The November back arch training, we're just doing the dynamic reps. So using the rings, you're going to lower yourself down, kind of like a pull-up, and then pull yourself up out of it, staying active through the spine and going into that nice loaded stretch of the body weight pushing down. So you just kind of have the feet behind. You can bend the knees as much as you need to when you start. So you've got that nice pull-up position and lowering yourself down. 3 reps. To make it harder, just go further forward or lower the rings down a little bit more. And you want to make sure you're spreading that force evenly through the chain. So you're not just hinging that lower back. You feel it open up through the thoracic, through the front of the hips. If it feels tight, just let the knees bend. You do not want to aggravate your spine with this. This is a process of nurturing your body into change rather than forcing it to change to the point where you're aggravating tissues and inflaming tissues. So you really want to focus on gradually lowering yourself in, feeling good, feeling strong there, and making your body strong in these positions. And the elbow rotation as you come down makes it much easier on the shoulder. If you just kind of stay like that and go, you feel there's too much pressure going forward. If you go like that, you feel more comfortable, stable, and then as you get closer to the end range like there, you can start to get that nice turnout. But don't force the shoulder into a position that doesn't feel good. The reverse of that is quite challenging. So just getting on your back. You can do the 3 push-ups as the full version, but even just getting your wrist stretching and the hip drives in this one. So there, just coming up like that, and just trying to get more of the elbows above the wrists. If the elbows are back on this side, then it's going to put a lot more pressure into those wrists. If you get your elbows over more and can push straight down on those elbows, you can push your chest up easier. But again, working on your dislocate, mobility, all of those things is going to help. Feet wider apart at the beginning is easier on this, and then you can make it harder by bringing your feet closer together. So you're going to come out, come down, reach, come back, press. But just work to the range that feels good. Do not force your back to open up. If you can only get halfway up, you've got your feet wide, you're not pressing all the way, you're not leaning over the wrist this way, just work where it feels good. The goal is to gradually improve it. When you do, after your 3 reps before you can't, just do a couple of rocks, just to counterbalance that pressure that's gone into the back. But again, it shouldn't be just hinging in the lower back. Trying to open up through the hips and open up through your whole spine. Get on the foam roller, get on the massage ball, do the work. Don't just try and force it and then twinge your back and then think this stuff doesn't work. You've got to take the time to do the work and go through the process to rebuild the body, and just look after your nutrition, your sleep, everything. Usually inflammation, lack of sleep, poor nutrition, dehydration, all of these things are going to make it harder to progress with mobility and getting that strength in these kind of different angles. For the legs, just going to sissy forward with the knees and then control with the arms. So you're lowering yourself back, fingertips, and then pull up 3 reps of those. So just enough pressure in the rings to facilitate the movement. And control it. Then you just got a child's pose recovery, counterbalance, counter pose. So you're just stretching out that lower back. If you find from the back arches it was pretty strong on the wrist, let's do that. Remember, you're trying to develop through these workouts, and like I would say, this is a long game. So I mean this for the long term. I want to live till 120. I'm 40 now. So I've got another 80 years of doing this stuff. If I rush it and tweak something, it's not going to be fun. And if you lose function because you forced it and you rushed the process, you're kind of going backwards. So just always think of, you know, that eagerness to do harder stuff is often short-lived whenever you twinge something and you're in pain. So if you just develop slowly, but it takes longer, but you feel good in your body, and you keep developing over time, then it's a much better process. So 4 rounds of that's pretty heavy. You could do more if you've got time, but ticking that off once a week. So think of all these workouts like a checklist, and if you've got questions with you know, how you're doing with any of these, you know, just send a video. You know, send a short 1-minute video, 15 seconds of the first one, 15 seconds of the second part, the push, 15 seconds of the leg, 15 seconds of the recovery position. Always send the 4 or at least the 3 pull-push legs, because I need to see the other side to help you work out, well, how can you balance your body better? Because if I just see the pull version or just the push version, sometimes it doesn't give a clear enough picture. And then also too, what's quite helpful if you're doing, say, like the back arch, the compression workout, which this for November is the straddle versions. That's quite interesting to see too, because it sees the counter positions of strength as well as the counter positions of range of motion. So just like, you know, looking at front lever to back lever or planche to manner, even though the workouts, that's why they're important to look at the front lever planche or the back lever manner as those 2 separate things, but even the 2 levers and then the 2 floor positions are quite good to see, just so you can work out, well, how can we better strengthen and balance the shoulder girdle and the upper body and the spine, rib cage, all of that, so that there's more overall health and integrity in the tissues. It's very easy to, most of the people coming into fitness are thinking of losing body fat, gaining muscle mass, and or gaining strength in a particular position, or gaining not just strength but fitness, like, you know, the ability to contract over and over again. But those kind of 4 things are actually quite easy. What's hard is learning new movements and learning how to use your body more effectively. That takes a lot of concentration and focus, and that's what movement coaching is about. And it's pretty easy to lose body fat if you know, just do intermittent fasting, do ketogenic nutrition, get your gut right, you know, get good probiotics into your body, whether it's fermented foods or whether you're purchasing that, you know, get good sleep every night, make sure you're relaxing, not overtraining, not undertraining, get your finances sorted, get your stress levels down. Those things, they're not easy, but it's not overtraining that's going to lose that body fat as much as all those other things. Nutrition is a far easier way. You know, having 1 or 2 meals a day is a far easier way of losing body fat than training hard and not eating well. So think of these things as the time it takes to develop movement patterns is it's well worth it, but it's not easy. So you just got to be patient with it, keep working at it, and always try and balance yourself from fingertip to toe tip. If there's anywhere in that chain that doesn't feel good, you know, that's why bringing the dumbbells into the program, because a lot of people have kind of wrist challenges and they find that, you know, their planche or manner or different exercises are limited by their wrist, because you know, you've just got to put in the time with all the exercise to bring the strength of those up. But sometimes, you know, you do twinge it a bit, so you do want to keep training and working around it, and those are good tools for that. Plus, working with your body weight all the time is great. The bands are good, but dumbbells are, you know, a fairly inexpensive tool to have, especially if you've got adjustable ones, to be able to do so many different exercises and still keep the body functioning, even though you might not be able to do the body weight version of it that well. You can work with a lightweight to condition the tissues. So enjoy, get into it, keep balancing the body, and just send me in your videos so that way I can help and coach you guys to improve your form, technique, and overall health.